Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Bryndís. In today's video, I am going to be doing an unhaul, declutter, reorganization of my bookshelves. Both my collection, the books that I've read, that I really enjoy, and that I want to keep. I'm gonna go through them because I think that there are still a few books there that maybe I don't need to keep or want to keep. And I'm also gonna go through my unread books and declutter. Like I have too many books there that just don't incite any excitement, and life's too short to have books on your shelves that don't excite you or like spark interest. So I'm gonna get rid of those. So also that means that I might have more room when I start to buy books again. So that's what I'm gonna be doing in this video. I haven't started. I'm filming this before I start, so I may change outfits because this may take me several days. This maybe I will finish today because I will get in the zone. We'll see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm just gonna like go over each shelf before I start. I'm gonna go over there and tell you what's in each shelf, and then I'm just gonna start picking out books. Okay, so on the top shelf there, so on this shelf, this shelf, and this shelf are my Icelandic crime, like Nordic noir books that I enjoy by my favorite Icelandic crime authors. But there are definitely a few here that I don't need to keep, and not all of the books by all of these authors are necessarily favorites of mine. Who used to be my favorite author is called Arnaldur Indriðason. I love his series with the detective called Erlendur and his team. So I'm gonna keep those books, but there are definitely books there that are not with them, so I'm gonna get rid of those. I think all of these are. So I got a stack of books from the Icelandic section that I don't need to keep because I'm not gonna reread them. I'm keeping these kind of my favorite books because I know that I'm gonna reread them at some point. And even though I usually read these books like physically, but like when I reread them, I might do the audiobook, but I like having the option of reading them physically. So so I think that looks good now. I'm not gonna get rid of any of Yrsa Sigurðardóttir, who I really like. So I'll put it on the screen. So my favorite authors are Yrsa Sigurðardóttir. Then we have Eva Björg Ægisdóttir. We have Ragnar Jónasson. We have Arnaldur Indriðason. And we have Stefán Máni. So those are definitely kind of my favorite. I also have one by Ármann Jakobsson, who is not as well known as the others, but I still like his books quite well. I only own one of them, but definitely would like to have more of his books. And the books that I'm getting rid of are by these authors that are not in this kind of the detective series that I really like. So that's why I'm getting rid of those. So now we are into my English speaking. Here we have Stephen King. I'm not getting rid of anything by Stephen King because I want to read his book. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna keep all of his books that I own like forever, but so far there is none of these that I've read that I didn't like. So I think I will probably keep them. And there are a few there that I haven't read, so I don't know about them. But I also have one copy of Stephen King in the Icelandic translation in the hardcover. I kind of just keep that for decorative purposes. I have 2 books by Halldór Laxness that I'm keeping. And then here we have kind of my mythological books. We have the Book of the Dead. I don't know if I want to keep that actually, because I've never really, I might just get rid of that, because I mean, it's fun, like it's these kind of hieroglyphics and whatever, but I'm never gonna, that's not, I like Greek mythology and Norse mythology. That's kind of my favorites. Those are my favorites. So I think I'm just gonna keep these. These are Stephen Fry's books, the Iliad, the Odyssey, I have Plato, and then I have the retellings that I own by Madeline Miller, Greek myth retellings. I think I'm gonna keep those. I'm probably going to be rearranging the shelves a bit later on. I think I'm gonna try to make it so that I can fit all of my read books on these shelves, including my mystery books that are on different shelves that I will show you later. I think I'm gonna move you maybe a little bit closer. I don't know if this helps, but you're a little bit closer at least. Here I have my modern classics. I did decide to do like modern classics. I have 18th century, 19th century here and here, fantasy, and then like contemporary. But I think I'm probably gonna put classics and modern classics in one kind of one shelf or a couple of shelves, because I think that, yes, that's for another day. Now I'm just decluttering. So my rule for keeping books has been that those are 5 stars and books I really want to read again. And I've kind of broken that rule, and I think I need to remind myself of that rule, because my goal is not to have hundreds of books. My goal is to have books on my shelves, on my read shelves, that I like. They bring me joy when I see them, because I remember how much I enjoyed them. And I think there are definitely books here that I do not need to own. I'm never gonna read them again. And so I think I'm gonna be quite brutal with my modern classics. Am I gonna be brutal? That's a good question. I think that, this is so difficult. Okay, I'm already like, I don't want to get rid of these books. But yeah, okay, let me just take this is Gone with the Wind in the Icelandic translation. I think they are gorgeous. But like, I don't even know why I bought them. I've never read Gone with the Wind. I've seen the movie. It's not like my favorite movie. It's not a book that I necessarily want to read. I know it's a classic and whatever, or modern classic or a classic, but they are taking up way too much space. So they are going. In my fantasy section, this is the Mistborn series. All of these are staying because these are all favorite books. I think I'm gonna keep the classics a little bit because I just love classics so much. So I think we're gonna go now into my contemporary books. Fredrik Backman's A Man Called Uwe, I'm keeping. Longborn by Joe Baker, I'm keeping. The Miniaturist, Piranesi, The Marriage Portrait, The Red Queen. So I bought these at the thrift store. This is Philippa Gregory, The Other Bowling Girl, and The Red Queen. If I'm gonna read them, I don't need to keep them. I'm not gonna read them again. I love this one, I love these ones. books. These are all books I really enjoy. Yeah, so I'm keeping everything else because these are all books I really enjoyed and I know that I'm gonna want to read. I think I'm gonna want to read all of them again, except maybe Longbourn. But I'm gonna keep it because it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling, and that's just kind of something that I really enjoy. Okay, so I'm keeping a lot of these. Okay. In this shelf here, which is the bottom shelf, I have biographies. And some of these I've read and some of these I have not read. So this is, yeah, I'm keeping this. This is Vigdís, the former Icelandic president. Snorri Sturluson, he is kind of the guy that wrote down a lot of the Icelandic sagas. I'm keeping these, a lot of these also because they're kind of sentimental. My late brother gave them to me. And yeah, this is the story of a priest back in the, was it 16 something? 15 something or 16, 17, yeah, 16 something, 17th century, who was obviously suffering from a mental disorder, but he thought that everybody was a witch. So he was like burning people. I'm not gonna read it. Yeah, I'm keeping these and these and these. Listen where this is the, I'm thinking that this is a biography, yeah. I like Alison Weir and her biography, so I'm keeping those. Charlotte, yeah, this is just a book I don't need to keep. And the one thing that I'm wondering is that I have this biography of Jane Austen, and I really enjoyed it very much. Emma Yao! I don't think I'm actually going to read another one. I know, so I'm going to get rid of that one. So this is feeling much more doable, I think. Okay. So I'm still at the bottom of my bookshelves. I'm gonna work myself up. Let's just see. So here I have just a couple of children's books that I'm keeping. This is something I'm keeping. This is something I'm gonna keep. I'm keeping this because this is Icelandic folk music. I'm keeping it because I got it, I think I got it as a prize at some point. Emma is very keen on saying hi. And this one as well, this is like a musical guide to classical music. So this is 1001 Night, volume 2. No, I'm not gonna read that. I'm sure it's very interesting, and I think I know a lot of the stories there, or heard a lot of the stories at some point, but I'm not interested in reading that. I have this. This is basically a story of Iceland from in the first decades of the 20th century, especially between the wars, in between the wars, 1919 to 1939, when there were a lot of changes happening in Iceland. So it's a historical thing, but it's taking up too much space. I'm not gonna read it. And then I have this, which is basically about public education in Iceland. I don't need to keep this either. But I'm keeping this because this is a genealogical book. Okay, oh my God, I already have so much more space. Oh, fantastic. And then we have a next shelf. So here, I actually have this. This is the Icelandic sagas manuscripts. It's a really interesting book, so I'm gonna keep that one. I got it for free at my university because we are moving campuses, and people were getting rid of some books, and I found this one in one of the stacks. So that sounds interesting. I have Shakespeare. I'm keeping Shakespeare. Here I have you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of these. These are like omnibuses, like collections from. This is like poetry. This is a couple of Icelandic authors. I don't read literature like that. And if I will want to read them at some point, I will just either go to a library or like find them. These are always available at every thrift store. Yeah, so I have some Laxness. I have some Icelandic sagas. I have poetry, Icelandic poetry. I don't read poetry. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't. This is Jonas. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Jonas and Hulda. There are also two poets that I really enjoy, so I'm gonna keep them. Cause yeah, those are kind of just. Oh, let me see. Here's another Icelandic saga. Let's keep it. Let's keep them together. Poetry. I have Keats and Yeats. And then I have this book, which is just like, yeah, it's just ruined. Short stories by Halldór Laxness, The Penguin Guide to the 1000 Finest Classic Recordings. Yeah, I don't need to keep that. I have Yeats here, Canterbury Tales, Paradise Lost, Shakespeare Sonnets. Even though I do have them in here, it's kind of nice to have them here. And then I have some more poetry and stories by Jónas Hallgrímsson, who is kind of one of the biggest. He's one of the poets that I really enjoy. I'm not huge, like I said. I'm not very much into poetry, but there are a few that I enjoy and that I want to keep. So, but oh my God, I can already feel that I have so much space, and I'm really happy because I found these books also at my university. This is Icelandic literary history. So it goes from like the Icelandic sagas up to I don't know exactly. Yeah, so there's also so this one is until 1750. There are two more volumes, so hopefully I can find them at some point, because I would really like to know more about Icelandic literature. Oh, my cat. Yeah, okay, so now we've kind of done the easy parts, so now I need to go over my classics. That is gonna be the hard part, for sure. Here we have my Tolkien. I'm obviously not getting rid of anything. Even though I do have like two versions of some of the books, Tolkien is sacred. Sacred. The classics. I need to just remind myself that I'm not getting rid of these books because I don't like them. I'm getting rid of them because I don't have endless space. Yeah, so I already know that I think I don't need to own this copy of Moby Dick. I read Moby Dick, I enjoyed it, but it's not a book that I'm probably not going to reread it. And if I'm going to reread it, or if I feel later on that I would really like to keep it, I think I would buy it in a Penguin Classic. So like a old, like the black spine penguin. This is obviously also a black penguin, but I would like it in a like a little bit taller version. So lovely book, 100% recommend, but I don't need to keep it. I'm also thinking that I think all of these, well, I found this one. This is the original edition of Frankenstein. But you know what? You know, this, like, I have this edition, which I don't necessarily like so much, but I don't need to have two, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Dracula, Dubliners, Les Miserables, Elizabeth Gaskell, I'm obviously keeping all of her work. Tolstoy, and then we have Oscar Wilde. Oh, this is not completely correct. I'm keeping Oscar Wilde. I really enjoy him. I don't know about Edith Wharton. I really enjoyed this book. Actually, this is one of the books that it kind of surprised me that I would enjoy it as much as I did. So I think maybe I will actually keep it because it's a good reminder for me to read. Because sometimes I will be like, I don't want to read something because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to enjoy it. I have this kind of prejudice basically, and I need to stop doing that and just remember that it's good to read things that even if I'm not sure that I'm gonna like it. So here I have actually 2 copies of Silas Marner, which I loved. I read it in March, I think. So I'm gonna keep the Oxford edition. This one is just from the thrift. I really like this edition, but I like the Oxford one more. I don't need 2, Brindies. You don't need to have 2. George Eliot, Dickens. So the Moonstone, I think I'm gonna keep it a little bit. This was not, like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like as much fun as I was hoping it would be. The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I definitely enjoyed Woman in White more, but I think I'm gonna still keep it. I still enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't need to have 2. So I bought like a box set of the Bronte sisters. So I have this version of this edition of Jane Eyre, but then later on I went ahead and I bought it in the beautiful Penguin edition. I don't need 2 editions. I already also have Jane Eyre like this, so like it's ridiculous. So I'm getting rid of that. I'm keeping all of the Brontes. You know what? I'm not gonna read this again. This is obviously a extremely important book and all of that, but I'm not gonna read it again. I don't need to keep it. Jane, I'm so annoyed that I haven't been able to find Persuasion by Jane Austen in a Penguin classic. It's like it doesn't seem to exist anywhere. Not even I went even to the penguinclassics.com books website, and they don't have it. So I just have this Collins Classics kind of placeholder, because this is actually my favorite Jane Austen, and it's very annoying that I don't have it in the like all of the other ones. Little Women, I know that I'm gonna read that again, so I'm gonna keep that. Then I have Gulliver's Travels. I think I'm only gonna keep it because it's in this edition. I am a book snob, I'm not gonna lie. This is like the top-notch editions of classics, the Black Spine Penguin. I acknowledge the fact that I'm a snob in regards to that. I did not necessarily love this book, Gulliver's Travels. It's a very interesting book. It's been a very long time though since I read it. I might want to read it again, but I'm gonna keep it simply because it's in this edition. Moll Flanders was one of the books that I read this year that really surprised me, and I thought it was very interesting. But I'm not gonna read it again. I don't need to keep it. And then we have Evelina by Frances Burney, which I loved, and I wanna keep that. And then we have here let me just move you. Okay, it's becoming a little bit easier now because I'm like, okay. Pygmalion, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Heart of Darkness, Name of the Rose. I think I might actually read Great Gatsby again. Graham Greene, yes. Hemingway, Brave New World. Haunting of Hill House. Turn of the Screw. Yes. Animal Farm. Yeah, okay. So I'm getting rid of, I read this book this year and I enjoyed it quite a lot. Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. I don't need to keep it. The same with Pygmalion, Heart of Darkness, and Breakfast at Tiffany's. All books I enjoyed when I read them. I'm not going to read them again. I don't need to keep them. I'm on a roll, people. I'm going to have so much space. So here we have the books I want to keep in my modern classics. Yeah, I'm being quite brutal. I feel like it, but I think I need to be brutal because, like I said, I want to rearrange things a little bit, and I can't keep all the books, even though I would love to. I'm very proud of myself. But I'm gonna take a break now, do my work, and then I'm gonna go over to my Agatha Christie collection. So there, above the TV, I have all of my Agatha Christie books and Sherlock Holmes and a couple of mysteries. contemporary cozy mysteries. And I think I want to not have them there. I'm not quite sure, but I definitely, hi. I went completely crazy with buying Agatha Christie's last year, which was fine, but I was buying a lot of the same books in different editions. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that at all. So I'm gonna do that later on. Go through those and just have one edition of each book. I think that's quite enough. Okay, it's later in the same day actually. I didn't think I would be able to get to it again today, but here we are. So this is another wall in my apartment with books. And these are, like I said before, Agatha Christie, some mysteries, Sherlock Holmes. And I need to be brutal again, and I need to not have many copies of the same book, basically. So that's what we're gonna do here. Hope I'm not gonna fall down, but up here I have, so this is Myrtle. I'm sure if you know, it's just in the Icelandic translation. I haven't looked at it yet, but it's gonna be interesting to try to solve these mysteries, or like, yeah. Whenever I have the time, I'm gonna love it, I'm sure. I have here 2 books from the Marlowe Murder Club series. And here I have Sherlock Holmes, and then Poirot, Miss Marple, the standalones, and some minor series. I have a few Icelandic Agatha Christie's, and then the Mousetrap play. I know, Emma, I agree 100%. So, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. What I'm thinking is that, so here I have The Return of Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I think these are all separate. And then I have 2 editions of The Hound of the Baskervilles. We can't really see that. Okay. They are both I think I like this one better. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. I don't need 2. It's a very good book, but I definitely don't need 2. And then I have here some Collins classics. Oh my god, it's gonna fall down. The Valley of Fear and the Casebook of Sherlock Holmes. Most of Sherlock Holmes stories, in case you didn't know, are like short stories or novellas. So, and then I have these. This is a collection of his, like basically the complete novels and stories. So technically I only need to own these. But I don't know, I prefer, I'm not a fan of these kind of omnibuses. I think they're called, like collections. I always prefer to have like the books in like, so here I have A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of 4, and then I have here The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes and The Return of Sherlock Holmes. So I have these in this one. And here I have The Hound of the Baskervilles, The Valley of Fear, and His Last Bow. And the Casebook of Sherlock Holmes, which I also have here, the Casebook, and yeah. Oh, I think I'm gonna get rid of these. I think actually these are really nice, but I would like to have all of Sherlock Holmes in like, yeah. I'm gonna get rid of these. I got them at the charity shop, so it's not like I'm getting rid of new copies. But I'm gonna keep the Collins Classics kind of as placeholders, basically, until I can get nicer editions. I would like to have all of Sherlock Holmes in the Penguin at some point. At some point, I might do that and just get rid of the other editions. But as of now, I'm gonna keep these. This one here is Mary Westmacott, which was a pen name that Agatha Christie used. I have only one of her, the unfinished portrait, so I'm keeping that. Then we have here Agatha Christie, Miss Marple. I have a couple of books, I think, on my coffee table where I keep my currently reading books. Murder at the Vicarage, The Body in the Library, The Moving Finger, I think it's 450 from Paddington, The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side, and then I have 2 editions of Nemesis. I don't need 2 editions of Nemesis. Oh, which one is nicer, do you think? Oh, I don't know. Fontana? Oh, Pocket. I kind of like this one. This one looks like something very naughty. I think I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, so see how easy it is, people? In case you are wondering what this is a 4-year-old rock. It was formed in a volcanic eruption here in Iceland in 2021. It's 4 years old. In case you want to know. Here we have kind of the standalones. So I have The Man in the Brown Suit. I have The Secret Adversary, which I also have here. The Secret Adversary. I'm keeping this edition simply because I bought it in Brighton at, what's the bookstore? The famous English bookstore. Why can't I remember? Never mind. So I'm keeping this one, although I kind of like this edition as well, and I bought this on new, so keeping it. Just put it here. We have The Secret of Chimneys, The Boomerang Clue. I have 3 editions of, and then there were none. Oh my goodness, it's gonna fall down. This is the one that I bought new. So I think I'm gonna keep that one. Simply because I paid lots of money for it. These were both thrift store or charity shop, so I can get rid of them. Okay. Remember Death? What is it called again? Sparkling Cyanide. Yeah, I like that one. Death Comes at the End. So I have 2. Death Comes at the End. Even though this one is kind of falling apart a little bit, I don't like that more. I like this one more. Emma, please, leave me alone. This one is like, I like it because it's like a penguin, but it's been someone written. It's like you can see someone had like a cup of coffee, and this one is at least kind of explains, like, it's like shows you what it's like, because it takes place in Egypt, ancient Egypt. But I kind of like this one more. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one, even though it's falling apart. I think that it's just kind of cute. Towards Zero. I have 2 editions of Towards Zero. I'm gonna keep this one. I don't know. Fontana books, I like them. They are very like 70s or 60s or something. Crooked House, I think I only have one. They came to Baghdad. Kind of like this one more, I think. I don't know. Yeah, is this one? Fontana. 51. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. I like it more. It's like, you know, Middle Eastern there. Okay, Passenger to Frankfurt, only one. The Pale Horse, Regatta Mystery, Mysterious Mr. Quinn. I think these are all. Parker Pine, Detective, Listerdale Mystery, The Hound of Death, and Norem. Yeah. Oh no! Emma! She wants me to sit down and cuddle with her. I know, I want to do this. I'm sorry. I'm inconveniencing you when you just want to cuddle. And I want to be doing stuff. It's very hard on a poor little cat. Like that. Okay, I'll put this one here. Oh, this is not a very good bookshelf thingy because it doesn't have anything on the side, so the books will just fall off. Okay, I need to move to Poirot. So here is Hercule Poirot. I have Mysterious Affair at Styles and Murder on the Links just here. Oh my god. I have 2 books of... Okay, I don't know how to do this without everything falling down. I think I'm gonna have to... Let me see. Do it like this. Okay. Poirot Investigates. I think I like this one better. Keeping this one. Then we have The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, Peril at Ant House, The 13 at Dinner, Murder on the Orient, Murder, Death in the Air, ABC Murder, Dead Man's Mirror. I have 2 of those. Oh, this one I definitely like. Definitely like this one more. Yeah, because it's Poirot. It's Poirot is the I can't remember the actor. I think it looks like him at least. Cards on the table. Poirot lost in Death on the Nile. Appointment with Death. Said Cyprus. Speeder. Okay, I bought like this is Evil Under the Sun in like Norwegian or something. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going insane. Murder After Is this the same book? No, this is not the same. The Labors of Hercules, Mrs. McKinney's Death, Adventure Hunting in Venice, Elephants Can Remember, Cat Among the Pigeons, yeah, and then I have like, I think 3 curtains. I don't need 3 curtains. Yeah, this is no, I don't need this one. And then we have these two. Curtain, Poirot's Last Case. I think I like this one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. Okay. So this wasn't actually that easy. No, it was difficult because obviously I'm keeping, if I only had one edition, I'm obviously keeping it. And I'm keeping all my Icelandic ones, at least for now. Oops. I got this for Christmas. This is like a card game, or not a card game, like a card game. Sleuthing friends and family members. I need to get someone to play it with me soon, because I think that could be fun. So that feels better. I have now just one book of each, like one edition of each book. I don't have like so many. I'm getting rid of like, let me check. So I'm getting rid of like all of these books here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Agatha Christie's that I had doubles of. That's so much space on my shelves. It's ridiculous. And then then there were like 2, 3 Sherlock Holmes as well that I had doubles of. Feels good. It feels so good, people. I actually think we might finish this today, all of the books. So now we are at my unread books. I have 4 shelves of 4.5 shelves of unread books that I want to declutter. And the first line here, of first floor, is my kind of fantasies, a little bit of maybe some science fiction here. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of a lot of them, but there are a few. Firstly, there is the Discovery of Witches books. And the problem with these books is that I don't have the first one, and I don't have it as an audiobook. I think that I would like to read these books, but I don't know. I can't read them if I don't have the first one. And I don't know in what type of an edition, if I get the first book, if I end up buying it, new, I don't know in which edition it's gonna be. And I'm not gonna be buying it anytime soon. So I'm just gonna get rid of these because there's no point. I think this is number 2, I think. And I have no idea, this is number whatever. But yeah, it may be a little, I really think that I'm probably gonna love this series. But then someone that I can't remember who it was, someone was reading these books and they hated them. Someone that I have a very similar taste to. But then there are other people who have read it who really love it. So I don't know, but I'm gonna get rid of these. If I then decide to finally read these books, I will just buy them again. These were just charity shop finds. I'm gonna keep Ursula and the Three-Body, Terry Pratchett, Electra, and then we have Legion by Brandon Sanderson. This does not call to me at all. I have no idea why I bought this book. I enjoyed the Mistborn series. I look forward to reading The Way of the Kings, that series, the archive something. The Stormlight Archive. I have book 1, part 2. So obviously I need to get but I think this is the edition of the books that I would like to own if I go that route. But this one I don't want to read. I have no desire. Again, then I have more Brandon Sanderson and Samantha Shannon that I'm keeping. So I'm keeping all of these. I really hope that I can soon get to John Gwynne, his series. And Ursula Le Guin. I think that she is really good, or I've heard really good things about her. So yeah, I think I'm keeping all of these. Electra technically is not, obviously it's a retelling, but I'm keeping it here. Okay, let's go down and look at the classics. Actually, I'm gonna start with the non-classics that I own. So these are kind of just by contemporary authors, basically. All sorts of books here. Literary fiction, historical fiction, all sorts. So I have here Isabella Allende, Love and Shadows. I don't want to read it. I have some Fredrik Backman, House of Fortune, The Alienist. I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna be very brutal, just so you know. The Light You Cannot See, Elena Ferrante, Memoirs of a Geisha. I tried to read it, I don't want to. 100 Years of Solitude, I think I'm gonna want to read that. Enter Ghost, Nightingale, Never Let Me Go, Thousand Splendid Suns, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, small things like these, Antarctica, Demon Copperfield, Unbearable Lightness of Being. To be honest with you, I don't think that I'm ever gonna read this book. This is just like, I'm not gonna read it. Hamnet. Then we have this one. Anil, you know what? I'm not gonna read it. This is just not the type of books I enjoy reading. So, and then we have a finished book, Glorious Mass Suicide or something. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah. So obviously lots of books there that I can get rid of. Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is actually, I think I'm gonna want to read that. Then we have The Bandit Queens. I still have to read that. We have A Winter in Mallorca, which is about George Sand and Frédéric Chopin. Chopin is my favorite classical author of all times. I have Flights by Olga Tokarczuk. I want to read that sometimes, whenever. I have UNESCO. Yeah, I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna listen to it as an audiobook. And The Alchemist. You know what? I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'm not gonna read this book. Like, it's just not my type of literature. And then we have Perfume. I'm not gonna read that either. Yes, I'm being so brutal, people. Let me see. All of these books. Oh my God, I'm gonna have so much space. Oh, everything is falling apart. That's really good. So now I have just one shelf of non-classics, because these books here are classics. They just didn't fit in here. I might be able to make them fit now. Let's now check out the classics. So the classics. Let me see. Do you? Okay, I'm going to be brutal. People. So, Mary Elizabeth Bretton, Lady Audley's Secret. I want to keep that. Frances Burney's Camilla. I'm actually maybe going to read that this summer. So, Don Quixote, Raymond Chandler, The Little Sister. I think I just want to try out Raymond Chandler. And then we have Chekhov. In some world, I want to read Chekhov. But to be honest with you, I honestly don't think I'm gonna, even if I read them, I'm gonna listen to them, because I have the audiobook of some of his plays narrated by Stephen Fry. So I'm assuming that's gonna be fantastic, right? Stephen Fry is always fantastic. But I don't think that I would ever gonna, I think this is the type of literature that I would love to read or listen to, just to have done it and just to kind of experience it, but it's not something that I necessarily enjoy or want to do a lot of. I love plays. I'm actually finding that I enjoy reading plays, but I don't want to reread them. I feel that if I've read a play, I'm good. So I don't need to keep a book, because I'm not gonna read any of his plays. I want to listen to them. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. We have Armadale. I don't know about Roxana. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it, because you never know. We have lots of Dickens. I'm keeping all of my Dickens. I'm mostly just keeping these kind of old, worn-out copies because I'm probably going to read them as audiobooks. And if I really want to own them, I will probably get them in a nicer edition. But it's just nice to have them to show for videos, basically. Okay, we have some Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, and The Idiot, both in English and Icelandic. I have Alexander Dumas, The Man in the Iron Mask, which I want to read. Don't I have The Count of Monte Cristo? No, I don't have it. Oh, I thought I had it. I have A Passion for India that I want to read, Madame Bovary, The Sorrows of Young Werther, and The Confidential Agent. I think, I want to keep all of these. And then down here, I have, get it out, Thomas Hardy. 2 books by Thomas Hardy that I want to read and probably want to own. And then we have, let me see again, this. I have the Good Soldier Zweig, which I want to read. The Scarlet Letter. You know what? I don't want to read this book. And I don't even know why I bought this book. Like, I don't want to read this book. It was something by Aldous Huxley. Portrait of a Lady by Henry James and Washington Square by Henry James. Here we have then James Joyce, Franz Kafka. I read one book by Rudyard Kipling, basically because I want to kind of read as many Nobel Prize winners as I can. I don't want to read Kim, so I don't need to own it. Lady Chatterley's Lover. Doris Lessing, again, she's a Nobel Prize winner, so I want to maybe read her. To Kill a Mockingbird, I need to read that. I think I've probably just seen the movie, but I would like to read that book. Beloved, I also want to read that when I think I have the mental capacity for that, because that one is going to destroy me emotionally. I have Edgar Allan Poe. This one should really be in my different place because I've read a few of these short stories, several of the... No, this is not poetry. Oh, these are just the stories. Oh, okay. I've read a couple of them, but not nearly all of them. Then I have some The Vampire, Romance of the Forest, White Sargasso Sea. I've actually read this book in college, I think, rather than high school, in English, and I don't want to read it again. Catcher in the Rye, I want to read that, so I'm going to keep it. Waverley, and then we have Alexander Solzhenitsyn, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovan. I don't want to read that. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We have Tolstoy's Childhood. I think I want to read more about Tolstoy. I enjoy him. Anthony Trollope, of course, I'm keeping him. Turgenev. Ivan Turgenev. Yeah, I think I might want to read that one. No, you know what? Yeah, I think maybe. Huckleberry Finn, Candide, Edith Wharton, Virginia Woolf, Woodhouse. Yeah, I need to read that one soon because I think it's going to be fun. And then I have the Penguin Book of Murder Mysteries, which I think is going to be fun. The Penguin Book of American Short Stories, British, English short stories and Canadian short stories. I have another at Edith Wharton. I think I have it here because it's too tall. But maybe if I can rearrange the shelves now that And then I have Master and the Margarita by Bulgakov. Yeah, I can rearrange my shelves now that I have space. I only have now, I have 4. So I got rid of just over half a shelf of unread books. I feel that I still have too many unread books, but that's an ongoing project to read through them. But yeah, this is good, people. This is very good. So these are the books I'm getting rid of. 72 books. almost all of them, if not all of them, except maybe a couple here, I bought at the charity shop for very little money. So this is not like a huge financial issue here. Yeah, it's crazy. 72 books. All of these books being like here, and the fact that I want to get rid of them definitely shows me that I did the right thing by going on a book buying ban, because this is just ridiculous. I definitely do not need to be buying books just like, because if I don't have a plan to read them, I shouldn't buy them, basically. And yeah, so especially I'm very happy that I was so brutal with getting rid of some of these unread books, because I know, first of all, I know my tastes, but I also know that I prefer audiobooks. So I need to like get out of this mentality of buying a lot of books I haven't read and just waiting, listening to them as audiobooks, and if I really want to afterwards, that when I know if I like it or not, then I can go and buy it or look for it at a charity shop or something like that. And also, I'm always going to be buying books at like used books and at charity shops and whatever, because it just makes sense financially, and it's always good to support a good cause. But I feel that if there are books that are going to be like huge favorites, maybe I can also just buy them new in a beautiful edition that really are not only a book for the bookcase, but also a decorative item. Because my bookcase is in my living room, like it's in my main area, and so I want it to look beautiful as well as be books that I enjoy. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna try to do going forth, is to not, and even if I see a book that I've read and that I've enjoyed in a charity shop, if it isn't in a good condition, I don't need to buy it. I've done that too many times, bought books that are basically falling apart or are like ugly just because, oh, I have to buy it. Like that's not the point. Yeah. So 72 books I'm getting rid of. I'm going to then now in the next few days rearrange my bookshelves again, because that's one of my hobbies apparently. And maybe show you those in a later video. I don't know exactly when I will get to that, but it's been really good going through the books very brutally, talking to you as I was doing it. When I publish this video, these books will probably all be gone out of my house, so there's no point yelling at me in the comments saying, oh no, don't get rid of that one, because they will be gone. I'm gonna see if my sister or my niece wants to keep any of these, and then I'm gonna put a few of them in the little free library, and then there are like these different kind of free book tables at a couple of malls around town. I might put them there, maybe, and then donate the rest to the thrift shop where I bought them, basically. Or the charity shop where I bought them. Yes, so that's that. I feel really good about getting rid of them for sure. And are you good at getting rid of books that you didn't maybe necessarily love, or that you haven't read, but you kind of know deep inside that you're not really gonna read it or don't really want to read it? Or are you a hoarder like myself? But I'm trying not to be. I'm really trying not to be, and trying to be mindful and intentional about the books I buy, because I feel that that's really gonna bring me much more joy in my own life. So, but obviously I have no judgment on people who want to own all the books. That's fine. Like, you do you, I will do me, basically. Anyway, I'm gonna end it now. I hope this hasn't been like extremely long. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.